Well, hello everybody. So this is Okie Wilson, a day in the life of an Okie, and I want to explain something. I've dropped the term called PBM on Facebook and whatnot, and maybe even have dropped it on this particular my YouTube channel here. So I want to explain what PBM really means. So years ago, I was a part of a ministry, and our job was to call. Their job was to call like churches and stuff to invite them to conferences and stuff. So as you can imagine, it's kind of cold calling for God, you know. So anyways, I had a team leader, and he came out. He had this term called PBM, and it's called pit bull mentality. So interesting thing about it is their noses are pushed back, and they have a locking mechanism in their jaw. Well, that's terrible. Wow. Need some better lighting. So anyways, whenever they lock onto whatever they are biting onto or whatever, there we go, a little sun in the background, they can still breathe until whatever they're locked onto stops moving. So for that, we were using that as a sales technique, if you would, for these conferences, not to annoy people, but also not to get discouraged or defeated or anything like that. So basically, I've dropped this term several times in the last week. As you all know, Hannah and I are building a house, or getting ready to build a house. We're living in the RV, hashtag Wilson Adventure. So we had an appraisal that came through about 2-3 weeks ago, and it was absolutely horrible. The guy undercut us by several $1,000s, which means we would have to bring several more $1,000s to the table just to build our house and own the land, which wouldn't really benefit us whatsoever in our future plans. So nonetheless, with all that being said, I tapped into my pit bull mentality, and I barked loud enough and strong enough that the president of the bank ordered me a new appraisal and paid for it. So it was free. So there again, there's some good things do come free. So with all that being said, this past Thursday, our appraisal came through, and it was $4,000 higher than what we actually needed to build and develop the property. So praise God for that, rock and roll. That's awesome. So that you guys probably already know from the last episode of this great adventure. But the interesting thing is, PBM is a graceful but violent, aggressive, I should say, not violent, aggressive way of handling your business. So I knew in my heart. So first of all, just a little bit about the first appraisal came through. I could have done one of two things, right? I could have totally rolled over and said, whatever, I have the $11,000, I'll pay for it, and we'll start construction. And hopefully I can save money somewhere else. Or I can lock my jaw down and I can bow my knee in the dirt and pray. Which is exactly what I did. Now in this process, I treated everybody with respect and honor. I was not mean. I was not ill with anybody. My bank, people I talked to at the appraisal company, nothing of that nature. I treated it with grace, but was very aggressive. And there's a lot of prayer. So PBM is pit bull mentality. For those of you guys who do not know, now you know. Hallelujah. Old song. Anyways, so nonetheless, that's what that means. So in your life, when you know there's something wrong, when you know God has promised you something, and there are things in your life that you're absolutely sure, I was absolutely sure, so is Hannah, that God has blessed us with this land. And blessings come in different shapes and forms and amounts and whatnot, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But I was very deliberate and aggressive in how I treated this situation. The first thing I did was I gathered information. I prayed, and I prayed hard, and I prayed specific. And this is what my prayers sound like. I said, God, you said this land was for us. You said that. God, you said to sell your house. You helped me sell my house. You helped me buy an RV. That is cash money, ours. We don't owe nobody nothing. And I said, the blessings can't stop here. We're halfway through the football game. This is not where they stop. So God, you said this. I need you to show up and show off. And oh boy, did he. Let me tell you, our God is amazing. And I've often said, God is so stinking awesome. That's what PBM is, just in case you were wondering what it is and everything. And tell somebody your story. Get out there, talk to them. They want to hear it, even if they don't. Their spirit needs